All right, thank you for staying with us. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the First News newspaper. 3 months sentence. Me go to jail? It's strange, astonishing. Inspector General of Police reacts. You know the story yesterday came out that a federal high court in Abuja delivered a judgment in favor of an applicant that was dismissed years ago and sentenced the Inspector General of Police to 3 months in jail. But the Inspector General of Police has come up to say that he is not aware of that incident, although he is going to seek legal advice with regards to what steps to take to addressing this matter. And we recall that earlier in the year, there was also a case where the EFCC chair was sentenced to a month in jail until he purged himself, but that matter was also addressed. And then we hope to see how things pan out with regards to this in the coming days, what legal action and advice the Inspector General of Police would get to addressing this matter. Let's quickly move on now to the front page of the Blueprint. It says 30 years after CSP Okoli's sack, judge slams 3 months jail term on Inspector General of Police. Police say we are not aware of the court order. Like I mentioned earlier, judge grants 10 million naira to applicant, threatens more sanction if contempt persists. Case not under current IGP purview. Orders investigation into the allegation. All right, to the front page of the News Direct, still talking about the matter of contempt of court. Court fires again, convicts Inspector General of Police to 3 months imprisonment. All right, it says, and the Inspector General of Police in reacting says he is not aware of any court order. The NPF directs legal unit to swing into action. Now, all right, and still on the front page of the News Direct, we are seeing some other stories where the CBN has reacted, saying that we are not introducing 5,000 naira note, as some were speculating. And NDLEA arrests one of 2 wanted Abia drug kingpins. We know the NDLEA has been hunting down kingpins in its drug fight in the country. That's what it has been doing. And then we have on the front page of the News Direct, NCC pledges gender equality in information technology space. And we see the UBA Foundation rings in Yota season lights up Lagos Marina. We see those photo ops on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. You find all the stories on the front page, their details. If you go through the papers of the front page of the Nigerian News Direct this morning, you pick that up, you'll find all the details. All right, we move now to the front page of the Daily Trust, and it's looking at another story talking about the Russia-Ukraine war, weapons being smuggled to Lake Chad region. President Buhari speaking there. It says Russia-Ukraine war weapons being smuggled to Lake Chad region, calls for tighter border security, tasks regional force to end terrorism. Military expresses commitment to operations. Nigeria spends over $209 million on MNJTF in 6 years. Talking about the joint forces there. All right, the president was speaking with regards to the matter of weapons being smuggled into the Lake Chad region, coming into the country, and also fueling the insecurity crisis in the country and within the region. And he's calling for tighter border security. We move quickly now to the front page of the Daily Times. Vice President Yemio Shibadio speaking there says Nigerians must unite against corruption. Says Nigerians must unite against corruption. You find all of the details on the front page of the Daily Times, and you could see the story we spoke about earlier where court sentences the Inspector General of Police to 3 months in prison for contempt. And to the front page of this Nigeria newspaper now, 2023, next president must be physically, mentally fit, say Catholic Knights. Urge Nigerians to vote for someone with character, competence, professionalism, and capacity. Next president must be physically, mentally fit, say Catholic Knights. Urge Nigerians to vote someone with character, competence, professionalism, capacity. All right, we move quickly now to the front page of the Nation newspaper. Wike to Rivers PDP, await directive on presidential poll. Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, speaking to members of the party in the state, saying that they should await his directive on the presidential poll, but that for the governorship and for the House of Representatives and the National Assembly, every other position that the party faithful should vote the members, those who are in the PDP, but when it comes to the presidential poll, that he will give his directive soon, and that the party faithful should wait for his directive. They can vote the party in any other position, but when it comes to the presidential, he will determine and give them where their position lies with regards to who they should vote for the presidential election. Recall that Wike has been championing a cause where they have come with the integrity group within the party, where he and the other governors are fighting for a cause, talking about the removal of Yocha Ayu as the party's chair, that he has been asking for fairness within the party, and that has pitted him and the other governors against the party with regards to the presidential candidate in the party. We'll see how things develop in the coming days. We move now to the Leadership newspaper. Breaches of Electoral Act, INEC not independent, afraid of powers that be, lawyers are speaking, says it has failed to employ statutory instruments, warned political parties punished for defaulting over detailed financial reports. Breaches of Electoral Act, INEC not independent, afraid of powers that be, lawyers say it has failed to employ statutory instruments, warned political parties punished for defaulting over detailed financial reports. This has been the concerns of a majority of Nigerians, talking about parties publishing their financial reports for the public to also scrutinize and know how they are getting their monies for the campaigns and all of that. Anyway, we see how things span out in the coming days, and we see other stories on the front page of the newspaper. The president speaking about the Russia-Ukraine war, where the president is seeking tighter security against arms influx in the state. And then a Second Republic minister, Paul Unongo, dies at 87, and may his soul rest in peace. We move now to the front page of the Nature News. The Nature News, the major headline here says, House of Representatives threatens MDAs, vows to recover ecological funds. House of Representatives threatens MDAs, vows to recover ecological funds. A lot of Nigerians have been querying what is being done with these funds, especially with the recent incident where we saw a majority of the states, over 20 states, that were plunged in floods when the rains came. And the questions arose as to what was being done with regards to ecological funds, if these funds were not meant to address situations as such, where we see floods, taking over a majority of the states. And we saw what happened at the end of the day. And then another story on the front page of the Nature News is biotechnology stakeholders collaborate in addressing food crisis in the country. A very good development there. All right, we move now to the Punch newspaper. And the major headline here says, import duty controversy. Private jet owners sue government over 30 billion naira tax. Private jet owners sue government over 30 billion naira tax. All the details on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Another interesting story there that we mentioned earlier. NDLEA nabbed suspected drug baron. Brother flees. NDLEA nabbed suspected drug baron. Brother flees. And then we see a story on the top part of the newspaper where depots sell 220 naira per liter. Marketers project 350 naira per liter pump price for petrol with regards to the fuel queues we have seen in recent times. And there are projections that it might be sold at 350 naira per liter for pump price, and marketers are projecting it is going to be sold perhaps at that in the coming days, with regards to the fact that there's not enough product, and all fingers have been pointing towards the NNPCL, the major importer of the product into the country, being said not to have enough product. And marketers are saying that they are buying products from private depots, and they are buying it at a high price, and so they might have to be selling it at about 350 naira if they would have to make profit. Well, that's all we can take on the papers this morning.